What's up, Flosstube? It is Sunday, March 18th, and we're back with another episode. I think this is number 9. If you're new here, glad to have you join us. If you're back, thanks for coming back. A lot has happened. It's been, I think, since sometime in January that I did my last video. We've just been super busy with finishing up travel volleyball for Heidi Club Volleyball. And we've had Nashville Market and Valentine's Day, and Friday was St. Patrick's Day. So happy all of that. Some are on spring break or looking forward to spring break. I still have about 3 weeks because ours coordinates with Easter. And so we're looking forward to Easter as well. I probably won't get another video in until after Easter. We are headed out to Arizona to see our oldest son, who is at Luke Air Force Base, and going to spend Easter with him, and some of our family lives out there in Mesa, and going to enjoy our time. We're going to head to the Grand Canyon, and the kids have never been there, so we're going to take them and just spend some time in the sun, getting warm. Here it's still in the 30s. I think it's up to 36 today, but the puddles are from the snow yesterday are still frozen on our way home from church. So, but the sun is out, which is great. It's a pleasure to see that. And we know that surely spring is to come, right? Surely spring's to follow. That's one of the stitch-alongs that I've been doing, is Spring is Sure to Follow by Spring Quaker. It's one of Leela Studios' designs. So, okay, well, let's get started right away. First of all, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so down below. That would be great. I have a fully finished, my first one of the year, and this is by Heart in Hand Designs, and it is Ye Old Crow sampler. It's kind of a, I've always had a love of crows. I don't know why, but I do. I love birds, and crows are some of my favorites. There's another on the back that they show, one of their neat designs. So I finished it just like they showed on the front here. Same kind of finishing. I used the mini pom-poms going across the border edge here. I used a reproduction fabric. I had a long strip, so I just sewed it together, and I left part of it open as I did the outside, and then stuffed it all, and then it had a nice area that I could just hand sew back together. So that's what I did. So I love this little pillow that I finished for my first finish for the year. So I thought it's neat that, you know, the C is sideways or whatever, and the R and the O and the W for crow, and then they got the Ye Old Crow down there, and I put 2023 and my initials, which are MG, for Monica Gown. All right, so that's my first one. I have another finish. It's not a fully finished, but it was a finish. It's one that I've shown on a number of episodes so far. It is Pumpkins for Sale. It's an It's So Emma design by Lori Holt. It's super cute. Okay. The last time I showed it, I think I was in the process of working on the scarecrow. So I was finally able to finish this one, and I just think it's adorable. Can't wait to frame it. A frame that I've used in the past, I thought I would try and find something similar at Hobby Lobby. We have a picture of us in a sunflower seal before our oldest son went off into the military. We got one last family picture done, and so that frame that we used is a kind of a rustic wood frame, and so I thought we'll maybe use that as well. All right, so what I have been working on. So I have a couple of works in progress here, and some of them go along with WIPGO. So January, they pulled number 6 and 10, and for me, one of those was the Owl Forest Embroidery designs. Again, it's a Ukrainian company. This is actually a freebie, and I've had it listed below on a number of my videos previously. I am doing mine on parchment, 32 count. Sorry, I didn't get it out. It's a design that she has a bunch of freebies, and Huga Stitcher is where I heard about it. And she's doing, they have, it's a Alice in Wonderland one on there that she's working on. She might even be done already. But this is mine. I had the first couple of rows done previously, and now this time I got into this bigger row with the maple leaves and then the flower. So I added a little bit there, not much. That's only about a, one night's worth of picking out a few more colors to add to it. I'm using DMC, and like I said, this is 32 count parchment. I'm just using DMC, and she used variegated in the picture, so I'm picking two colors that are close. One it would be like the called for DMC that she used, and then I'm kind of adding in like another one that's close, and then just changing them out, making the skeins a little bit smaller pieces to work with, and then kind of working them in. So you can see the way the flower was there. I tried to do the same kind of thing. So I just used, instead of it being super variegated, I just used two different colors. It seems to work. Give me kind of a variegated look with that. So it's a nice stitch. It's like a good size and good variety, and it's a fun one to do. The other one I worked on some was this one I took with me to some of Heidi's games, and I really just worked on it in the car because the games are so fast that you don't have time to do them there. But this is Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I really liked Lizzie Kate has a bunch of rules, whether it's Christmas rules or Halloween rules, and I do like those. But this is kind of nice that this has a group of them. They're a little bit smaller and they're all in one. So I've enjoyed stitching on this one. And I use one of these Lori Holt stitch boards. You can kind of see the design boards, and then you can hold your floss on those. So each month my goal for this is just to add another part. So I had to finish pumpkin. I had, like part of that done. So I finished the rest of the pumpkin and got patch and one of the flying geese done on there. So if I can just add a little bit each month, because I am trying to do WIPGO and actually get some things done that way. The other one that was called in January was the chicks, and I showed that last time. It's going to be made into a little pillow too. I got to get that one finished. I did finish the cross stitch on it. I just haven't fully finished it into the actual pillow. So that one I'm working on. Then for February they called 7 and 11. So 7 was pumpkins for sale, and I did finish that one. I just showed you that. And then the other one was, Prairie Schooler Mini Santas. And I did work a little bit on one of those, but I didn't get very far. So I didn't even get it out to show you. I do want to finish a bunch of those. And because I worked on other things, I'm going to try and move that to another number and instead and use that at that time. So then March, they called Ye Old Crow, which again, that was the pillow, and I finished it. So we're good there. And then Happy Easter. That was the other one. Well, this one I think I'm going to end up finishing. So this is Happy Easter. And I got it out and was like, oh, it's small. I'll be able to finish it right away. Well, it is a little bit bigger than, it's by Tiny Modernist. And I like her stuff. Her stuff's cute. And so I chose to use a white opal cloth. And this is how far I've gotten. I'm not sure if you can see it, how it's shimmery, but it does have an opal shine, an opal essence to it to make it, and it's fine. I don't mind. I'm not a big one on stiff fabric, but that's how a lot of 14 count is, and it's of course going quickly. I'm this far already, so I have a bunch of the bottom to do here to fill in the flowers and whatnot, but I think I'll get it done by Easter. We'll see. We won't be here, like I said, for Easter, but I'm still in hopes of having it done anyway. And if I get it finished sometime this spring, I can at least keep it out or be ready to have it out for next year. So that'll be fun. So that one I did, and I used, I can show you here. This is, so it's a upside down. It is ridiculous. 14 count Ada, opal white opal, 14, almost 15 inches by 18 inches, white art. So $4.99, and I got it probably at Hobby Lobby. If not, I got it at Michael's. I would have used a coupon. So these are the pretty flosses that go with it. So it's been a fun one. Good time of year to work on that. And then this was the one my husband got for me at Christmas. It's called An Appeal to Heaven. Looks like this. And it's a neat flag that a lot of places have the flag out. It's a free chart. I've listed it on a lot of my videos in the past, and I just got some more of the tree done. So I'm in hopes like that. It's not, I didn't put it on my WIPGO or anything, so I just kind of have been adding to it here and there. I pull it out, 1 or 2 days each time and get a few more stitches in on it. So now the next thing is haul. One of the things I ordered was bramble, and the way it looked online was kind of a gray, and it's what it even called for, or what it listed as an item description was more of like a gray color. Well, I got it, and it's this. Not sure if you can see. I'll put it against some white. This was the white. But instead of gray, it's hard to see on here. It's a very purpley color. So it's done by Picture This Plus. And so I contacted them, even though I bought it from 123 Stitch, to see what their thoughts were on it, if it's supposed to be like that. Well, because I looked up on Picture This Plus's website, and it says on there that it's a gray. So I was like, They said, well, when we do it again, we'll try and get you a piece of it. So then they sent me a piece, and this is their piece. and it is much more gray than this, which is the one from, so if you can kind of see the difference. This one's much more purple. This one was much more what I thought I was gonna, what that I wanted to use. So I was glad to have the difference. Now I just need to take the sticker off this because it says it's bramble, knowing that it's really not. I don't really know what color it is. They said it was maybe like a whisper or something, I think is what she called it. But nonetheless, I'm really thrilled to have this color. And I don't mind having the purple. I will say purple is probably one of my least favorite colors. But for a background fabric, I'm sure I can find, something hopefully for it. This is a piece of latte. So this is like brown, like a brown hint to it or whatever. That now you can really see how much more purpley it is when you see it up against, latte. And latte, of course, you can use for just a ton of things. But this is the grayer, versus this real purpley. You can kind of tell the difference. It's purple. But I also got latte. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I had a couple of possibilities. Also, I ordered from 123 Stitch. Sarah at Sarah's Stitching Post had done this one last year, and it is so pretty. It's Fruits of Plenty, but it's the Modern Folk Art Embroidery. Jacob is the designer there, the owner designer. Look how pretty that is. In the back, he gives some like alternate ideas for in here, I believe it is. And then they give some extra charts. It's so cool. Like, I mean, it's just full of charts in here. So this is well worth having for a book because there's so much you can do with this. I'm not using the called for colors. I am using what Sarah chose. And she did it on a 36 count ivory, which I'm waiting for. I've ordered from Picture This Plus, but haven't gotten. 123 Stitch, but I think it's a Picture This Plus one. You'll know when I get it, I'll show you. But these are the two colors that Sarah chose, which is 932 and 939. And these are very pretty. And I think on like a cream, colored background, they'll be beautiful. So that's what I have chose to use for this. So maybe you can kind of see these two on there. So I think it'll look good. I'm super excited about it. There's a lot of them, and I don't know that I even have enough, but it was a good start. I pulled ones from my stash that I had and then added some to it as well. This is a pretty one. Then, as I was looking through for some charts that I had seen other places and was really desiring, I found this one, but it was in Canada. So I'm not sure. This is a Blackbird Designs. It is Midnight Watch, and I know a lot of people have done this one before. Nisi Lynn did it, and I love hers. Let me show you a picture of hers. She did it on a different background. Now, see, maybe this is what I got. This calls for 18th Century Brown by R&R Reproductions is what it calls for. But Nisi Lynn did it on a pewter. And she says, it's kind of hard to see it there, but she says that she did hers before she really used any hand-dyed threads. So because of that, I thought, well, I don't know why my light's going off, but I thought maybe it would be a good idea to look at pewter and see if I like that. These are the threads that I just kind of picked for it. So they seem kind of that dark and crusty, dark and dirty, maybe, is what Carol from Saltbox Stitcher calls them. And she really likes that, the coloring of that. And I do too, for sure. I love reproductions and things, so hopefully those will look good on there. And then I can decide, you know, if I want to use like the latte, you know, that's very similar. These would probably look pretty nice on there. I'd have to check and make sure that they all work okay, but that'd probably be all right. I might need it a little lighter. We'll see. So that was exciting. I was glad to get that. This was a book that I had ordered back at Christmas time, but didn't really get out to look at much until recently. And this is the Hello Halloween by Teresa Kogut. And there's just a ton of cute stuff. And she always has such great, you know, pictures that she paints or draws and whatnot. So she's such a great artist in general that you get blessed to see a lot of her things, you know, a lot of her different pictures that she's created, which are super cute throughout the book. So that's always fun too. Try and show you that without any of the charts. So another thing is this year I've been a part of the Floss Fix Club through Fat Quarter Shop. And this year they changed. This is January's and this is February's. And they used to be done with like colors, like there'll be a group of pinks or a group of greens or a group of purples. Well, now then in January they changed to the alphabet. So now you've got all the A's here. And then here we ended with some A's for February and started it on a B. So I'm excited. A lot of these are okay, you know, pretty decent. And Marches were all B's. Those were, the whole group was B's. I don't know how long I'll be a part of it because I do have a lot of these. I had started in last year with the colorways, and so we'll see if I get a lot of, I mean, a double is not a big deal, you know, just have two of something. And they're, so far, they've been great, like 12 grain, use 12 grain in a lot. Amber Waves, Apple Fritter, Antique Lace, those are all great basics. With this one, Argyle Socks is not one that I would probably think to use a whole lot because it's like a purple and blues, but it's beautiful. And then Autumn Spice, that's used a lot. Avocado, use that in a ton of things. And Baby Blankets, like it looks like a baby blanket, like a crocheted baby blanket. It's pastels, it's super pretty. So I don't know what I'd use it for, but I'm thinking something spring-wise, something Eastery, Easter baskety, you know. Eggs, Easter eggs would work good. The last thing for haul that I got was my husband and I were taking our daughter up to Loves Park, which is in northern Illinois. It's just north of Rockford, Illinois, and for the volleyball tournaments. And there's a sweet little shop up there. And we tried the first time, and there was a horrible snowstorm that we came home in, and it literally, so they were closed, they weren't there. It was not too far away from where the tournament was, so we just ran quickly there to see, but I mean, it was a blizzard all the way home. We had so much snow-packed roads. We took the back roads because even being on the highway was a nightmare. Everybody was just being crazy. So we got off on the back roads, and we were kind of going into a gully. So we were kind of going down a hill, and there was a SUV coming at us going down the hill, and we were going to pass this way. Well, there was another car in front of us, and the car coming at us started, fishtailing all over. They totally lost control. And we were just like holding our breath, like, oh my goodness, is this gonna, are we gonna end it here? You know? But they did eventually. And the car in front of us too, I thought, oh my goodness, they could take them out, they could take us out, they could take all of us out. So we were it was a little touch and go for a couple seconds there as we held our breath, but they got it under control at the last minute. And, you know, a few little prayers went under our breath in hopes of making it out of that. So I don't blame them for not having been there that day. And it's always Saturdays that we're up there. So typically they're open. The next one we went to, we had to go early because she had her winter formal that night. So we didn't stay. We just had to quickly get out of there. And then finally, the last one that she had, it was an early morning one, so we got to go afterward. And they had such cute stuff. And it's a shop, it's called Just One More Stitch. And it's owned by a mother-daughter, team. And they had a couple other ladies in there stitching when I went in there. And one of them was a part of the Sinisippi Quilt Guild. So it was great to meet her. I had been up to Sinisippi for years. My best friend Ann and I, we were a part of that guild and loved going up there and being a part of that and helping with the show and stuff. I ended up pregnant with our third, which was Heidi. So that would have been, she's 15. And I was telling the gal that we met about going up for the Christmas party. And Heidi was due like at Christmas. Her middle name's Noelle because she was due at Christmas. She didn't come till January 15th, but I was 3 weeks overdue with all three of my kids. I went 40 months with all of them, 40 weeks with all of them, not months, 40 weeks with all of them. So she, 43 weeks, I don't know, whatever it is, it was a lot. She ended up then going with us to the first almost year's worth of meetings as a baby. I just carried her with each time. But the Christmas one, when I was super pregnant, my friend and I, and it never failed. Every Thursday here, just like this winter, every weekend, we've had storms, cold, threats of huge storms. A lot of times they haven't amounted to much. A couple times they have, but and so every Thursday when her and I were in guild, because it was either our DeKalb Guild or the Rockford Guild, so we'd go twice a month to guild nights, and that was like our only time out. We both had 3 kids. She had a kid one year, a daughter. I had a son the next year. She had a daughter the following year. I had a son the following year. And then she skipped 3 years and had her son, and then I skipped 4 years and then had my daughter. So it was super cool. We bought clothes. I bought clothes for boys. She bought clothes for girls, and then at the end we switched them and gave each other our kids' clothes the last set. So the third kid got all the hand-me-downs from the first 2, and the other family. So it's been great. We've enjoyed sharing clothes back and forth, and we always talk about how, I handed you the tape recorder because whatever was going on at her house, like a week later or a couple days later, it was happening at my house. Mine were fighting, or mine were having issues with, schoolwork, or, something, whatever it was. So it's so good to have female friends to go through life and all the ups and downs with. We need our friends. So that's an encouragement. I think COVID has done a number on all of us with becoming much more pulled back and in our own world and not wanting to go hang out as much. And I find it in my life. So this is your public service announcement to call a friend today. Call a friend and catch up, because we need those friends to get us through all the ups and downs in life. So I have so many great memories of, our guild times and running up and down the road and stuff together and to quilt shops. And so it's been great. Anyway, at this shop, I found a couple of things. So this was like a kit. And I think she said it was a Russian designer who did this kit. But this reindeer is the cutest. has the little houses. It comes with the smoke, you know, coming out of there and everything. So you can see the whisper stuff, whatever it's called, that's in there. So it has everything. It's on, I believe, a 16 count. As you can see, a lot of it's in Russian or some other language, whatever it is. She was thinking it was Russian. I don't speak Russian, so I don't know if it's Russian or not. Um, but it's in, well, some of it's in English. Yes, it's a 16 count Ada that it's done on. So I'm super excited to see. There are some beads, you know, in there as well. This shop had tons of bead um, kits and different things, which brings me to the next thing I bought. Um, this is a Millhouse kit. And of course, I hear everybody always talking about um, Millhouse kits. I think, I can't remember who all has had them. I know that I think Stephanie and Pam maybe on their, uh, but this is called uh, it's a spring series. Courtin' Froggies, that's what it is. My husband's like, oh, it's so cute. It's like, you know, little love froggies. So it is super cute. So I've never done one of these, and I'm excited to try it. It includes the beads. There's a ceramic button. It's on 14 count perforated paper or painted perforated paper, floss, needle, and the chart. So I'm excited. It should be fun. Um, there was a whole bunch of like bigger ones there, but I thought, oh, I better start with something small, make sure I can do it, because I don't know. There's a lot of beads in there. Hope I didn't bite off more than I can chew. And then the last one, this was a chart that the so-and-sos had you vote on. And this is the one that they voted in, of course, because of my background and my first love of quilting. This is Little House Needleworks Orchard Valley Quilt Bee. And it's so pretty. So if you haven't seen it, I think she's probably gotten hers done now. It was one that she had started, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm look very forward to starting this and getting it finished. It's so hard. I mean, do you find it hard to not? I, I love to start things, and I love to, you know, buy new things as well. But it's like I hate to get too much. I mean, I already feel like I've got plenty to keep me busy for a long time, and I don't want to just have stuff stacked up, because then if you don't get through it and do it, like what I found with quilting anyway, you sometimes you go back to it and we're like, oh, I don't really like that anymore. So then you're like trying to throw it on Etsy or somewhere, or give it to a friend, or you know, or just donating it. And I don't want to do that either. So I really am trying to finish the things that I do start and not start a million things. So I really haven't bought much. I did buy a bunch back at Christmas time, or right before Christmas. There was a number of things that I wanted. I started a bunch of them, and they're in my WIPGO, and I'm just planning on kind of waiting till they get called, unless I feel like starting something new, which it's worked out great. The things that I was like, oh, I really want to finish, um, the pumpkins for sale, that got called in February. So I was able to finish that one. So that was nice. Um, Sometimes I like to work on things just because they're seasonal. Like I've got some summer ones that I know I don't have them kitted or anything, but I do have patterns that I would like to start, or I'm thinking about starting. But I know I definitely want to finish like the Happy Easter, and I think I can. I might even be able to finish it, you know. I'll be able to finish it this week. Whether I finish it today or not, I don't know, but I should be able to finish it this week. But I really want to start um, some of the things that I just got, of course, because they're new and exciting and whatnot. So I have also bought a few other things. One thing I did do is I have a pattern that I designed, and it looks like a quilt. I don't know if I've shown it before. I don't think I have. But anyway, I bought this uh, frame at Target. It's one of the $3 ones, you know, just up there in that set of dollar items. And then I bought like $1 paint, acrylic paint. And this was just regular, you know, brown color. And I painted it. And I think my piece is going to fit in there perfectly. It's on navy, which is weird to put navy with this, but it's got a bunch of bright quilt blocks in it. And so I think it's going to work out okay. Hopefully I'll get it finished for next time, and then you'll see, and then you can tell me like, yeah, that works, or nope, wrong, try again. And then I'm only out $3. So, you know, I thought that was kind of a good deal. I have purchased a bunch of different things, and some of these I'm going to use as giveaways. So this first set is a set of scissors, and these are like, they'd be good for putting in a bag, travel bag or whatever, and they're, you know, considered needlework scissors. So again, we don't really need anything. We're mainly cutting threads, right? I mean, floss is what we're mainly cutting. Sometimes you'll use it to cut your fabric if you get done with a piece and, you know, it's just, you want to cut out that from the bigger piece of cloth. I probably wouldn't use these. I would use a rotary cutter or whatever, but and a ruler to make sure it's nice and straight. But you could use these, right? We just don't do a lot of cutting. Like, so these to go in our little bags are perfect. So these are 4-inch, 1¼ inch cutting, sharp blades. It does have a protective vinyl cover, although it's just like this little, you can see it, it's plastic. I think it'll probably get lost because it's see-through or eventually break, but it's on there to begin with, right? To keep your scissors covered. Now, this type of scissors, these are nice Victorian embroidery scissors, and it comes with a nice sheath for it, right? A leather sheath. And you can buy these leather sheaths or plastic sheaths separately at different places as well. So, I don't know. I think depending on where I was using it, if I was just having these like in a little basket or bucket that if the protective piece came off, it's not a big deal, then maybe I'd throw those in that. But if I had something that I knew it was going to be touching my stuff, I might want to get one of these to put on here or something if this part got lost or broke or whatever. But these are really nice too. And these are purple, which again, purple's not my most favorite color. So I don't know. I'll maybe give these away today. Give a set of these away. And I was also going to give, I got some needle minders. I got a couple of these to give one of these away. Lori Holt is doing a chicken sew along, and so it's got some different chicken patterns that she uses. And this is a nice size. Some of the needle minders that get really big, they really weigh down. I sew in hand, so I don't like them to be a whole lot bigger than like this size, you know, because other than that, it weighs down my fabric and, you know, or it gets stuck to everything. But this is a nice size. You want it strong enough that you probably could stick, you know, these scissors stick to it just great. So like here I'm, you know, just holding on to that. Your scissors would even, you know, stick onto that. These are a little bit heavier. I don't know if these would stick. Oh yeah, they stick too. So, so it's nice enough that it's big enough to definitely keep your needle on there, but then also if you wanted to put your scissors on there to keep them up too, that's a good idea as well. So I'll give one of those away. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then I have a set of needles as well. So these are tulip needles. I really like them. They're Hiroshima needle, and this is a group of them. So it's an assorted amount. There's number 22, 23, 24, and 25 round tips. So is there 2 of each in there or just 1 of each? Oh, 2 22s, 2 23s, 1 24, and 1 25. So there's 6 needles in there. And I will give that away as well. So there's those. Now, I got a couple patterns. You'll have to put in the comments if you think these are something you would like me to give away, because I have a number of them. I could give these away as well. If you just want to make sure you have it and buy it, I do have them listed in my Etsy store. So this is Oh Dear, which is super cute. I did the Santa one previously as well, and so I wanted to try this one, and maybe I'll put it in my repertoire somewhere along the way. And then Lori Holt's Autumn Love. I love this one. Now it's funny because they've got this on here. So they've made a needle minder that's the same. I think there's a pink one and maybe another color too, blue or green as well. I like the yellow one on there. But then they also made this. And this one's getting almost too big. Depending on now, a big size like this, it'll be great for, because you're gonna use a whole piece, right? And have a big piece. But if you were to do one of the little pumpkin ones that I've done before, this would probably be too big of a needle minder on there because it's really heavy. But it's still cute to have. So this goes with it. It's the one, this block right up here. But I think you could do this one with it too. So anyway, these are some sets of things that are in my Etsy shop listed below. If you want anything like that, or let me know if you want me to put them in a giveaway. I'm going to try every month now to have a few little things to give away. I found this book as well, and this is Modern Folk Art Cross Stitch. It has a lot of really, really cute ideas in it. So let me show you some of them. One of the things is this little fox. And I was like, oh, crazy like a fox. It's just neat. It's just a different idea. There's a lot of foxes out there, but that was different than any other one that I'd seen. Strike a balance. This was pretty cool. So it's got like the mountains, the more warmer temperatures of the mountains, and then the beach as well, right? With the whale tail there. That's fun. Kind of in a yin-yang looking pattern. Boho chic or boho chic. These have the cute little accessories, the little black satchels. They use them on black Ada. It shows you how to put them together if you are able to find the little pieces that make a coin purse, you know. The one on the front is in here as well, which is super cute with the birds and the flowers. Oh, this one's neat too. This is, I don't know if I can show it, so you can get it. Birds and berries. But that's a neat, almost wintry looking one, which is fun. So there's just a lot of different ones in here. There's other little foxes and chickens. I love chickens. There's some fun chickens in here. So anyway, that's another thing that, you know, maybe if you guys would be interested in a giveaway for it, leave me a comment below and maybe we can throw that in the repertoire later on as well. So, all right, so what did we have? We had 1, 2, and 3 for giveaways today. So throw them in the comments below and I will let you know. I'm sure it's going to be a month because it'll be after our trip to Arizona when we get back that I come back, but I will definitely contact the winners before then. One of the things that I use a lot of times, I'm working on my second pair of glasses here recently. The first pair that we got ordered, the prescription was not right. He went back in and looked and was like, oh yeah, this isn't going to be helpful. My husband and I both went in at the same time and got new glasses, and his came in and they work just fine. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, mine do not. But this is a magnifying type of glass that you wear, just put over the top and then kind of have sitting here where you can work then underneath. And it works great, like in the car. It works great if you're, sitting somewhere and you don't have a light or needle, or it's, plenty light out like it is here, but you need just a little bit of extra, like if you're working on 40 count, 46 count. I definitely need something to help me because, as I've told you before, my eyes are not great. So just one more tool to help you in case you need it. Most of us are not spring chickens and don't have the greatest eyesight. So anyway, thank you for joining me for this last episode, and I hope that spring has sprung in your area or is in the process of springing soon, and you get to see all the lovely things with flowers and the smells of fresh cut grass and whatnot that come with spring and enjoy. So I will see you after Easter. Have a wonderful Easter. If you celebrate Easter, have just a wonderful springtime and get out and enjoy the weather if you can. And next time we can get rid of this because as of yesterday it was still snowing here in northern Illinois. But these will be changed out and we'll have something better. So take care. Thanks. Like and subscribe if you've not done so. Bye-bye.